Hi everyone, it's Liam here from Rating the Races. So we've got 7 horses for the horses to follow, or your horses that I think are now well handicapped that can go and win a race soon. The first horse I want to talk about is the old boy Black Lion. I don't want to give up on Black Lion. I don't think Bangor quite suited him, but it was only 2 runs ago that he finished 6th in the Grand National off. What did he run off? 145, I think. It was 145 that he ran off. He could run here. Well, next time he runs, he can run off 131. He's won a Becher Chase of 153, and he's finished mid-division. He finished 11th of 158. Now, when he was rated 158, the aim would have been the Grand National, so they wouldn't have got him tuned up for Aintree, and that was his first run back. He never actually made the Grand National that year, and I'm sure that was disappointing. This year, if they have any aspirations of going back for the Grand National, they're going to have to win a race soon. Becher Chase looks ideal. We know he loves the fences. He's been around the Grand National. He finished fourth, back in 2017. He finished 6th last year. He's won a Becher Chase. He's had more experience over the fences in other Becher Chases and Grand Nationals. He was brought down in 2018 in the Grand National. Off 131 in the Becher Chase, I think he's got a great chance of bouncing back to a bit of form. It was only 2 runs ago that he finished 6th in the Grand National. If that had been 6, 7, 8 runs ago, and he's been all over the place and done nothing and dropped, then okay, maybe we could start saying he's not going to do anything anymore. But it wasn't. It was 2 runs ago, and it wasn't the worst run in the world at Bangor. Give him those national fences off a mark of 131, and he could be he is absolutely thrown in on his best form. But I think he will go very, very close. Second horse I want to talk about is a horse called Caspian Chaos, who has started his season in similar vein to last year. He pulled up. Then he eventually went and won at Ascot after finishing 4th at Warwick. That's surely the plan again. The Warwick race is definitely going to be the plan. He's dropped another £3 down to 134. That makes him £2 lower than when he was 4th in the Warwick Classic Chase. That's surely the plan. Warwick, go from the front, see if they can hang on this time. He's definitely well handicapped. If they don't win at Warwick, you can imagine they will definitely be going for Ascot again and trying to win that. So keep an eye on Caspian Chaos for the beginning of next year, January, February, at Warwick and Ascot. Potter's Corner ran a good race in the cross-country when he ran on good going. He doesn't want good going. It's simple as that. When was the last time he ran over fences, over a distance, on soft or heavy going? The Welsh National. He won the Welsh National off 145. Jack Tudor took 7 off that day. Well, if they went to the Welsh National now and they didn't use a conditional jockey, he would run off a mark of 137. Obviously, if Jack rides him, they can take 3 off again. So he'd be running off an effective 134. When he won the Welsh National, he was running off an effective 138. He's £4 lower. He just needs the conditions. He needs a soft ground. He needs a trip. I really like him for the Welsh National. What I'm hoping is they do not run him at Haydock at the weekend. It will only be 8 days after he ran at Cheltenham. The ground will be too fast again. There's no reason to run him whatsoever. Save him for the Welsh National. If you don't win, if he ran, for example, at Haydock and disappointed, which I think he would if he ran, he's going to start to get worryingly close to dropping out the handicap and not getting into the Welsh National. So hopefully they're aware of that, and hopefully they run him in the Welsh National. I mean, he ran a decent race in the Grand National. You can see he traded at 83% lower than his starting price. So he went well for a long way. But again, he didn't have the ground. Good to soft that day. Soft over hurdles, heavy over hurdles, good over fences, heavy over fences. First, in a Welsh National. That's got to be where they're going with Potter's Corner. The next horse that caught my eye was ASO. He was dropped a whopping £6 for his effort in the Paddy Power Gold Cup. That takes him down to a mark of 147. And I don't like Venetia Williams horses at Cheltenham. She has a terrible record there. And although ASO had run well on multiple occasions at Cheltenham, I just don't think everything is quite right with Venetia Williams horses at Cheltenham for some reason. So where do I want to see him run next? Newbury. There's this 2 mile 3 race at Newbury. Let me just try and navigate across to it. I've just broken my screen a little bit. This 2 mile 3 race at Newbury at the end of November, so a couple of weeks' time. He won this by a distance that day. And surely that's where they go back. He now gets into this race. He would actually be off a lower mark than when he won. And it's worth 31 grand to for the winner. You might as well go for it. So ASO, I want to give him one chance at Newbury, even though he is now getting on a bit. I think he is nicely handicapped, and dropping £6, I thought that was a crazy amount. The next horse also came out of the Paddy Power Gold Cup, and that was a horse called Spirit the Games, who I thought was given a very gentle ride by Bridget Andrews. He jumped fine. Bridget just hardly moved on him though, didn't actually get involved. Spirit the Games was dropped £3 for that, and I have a feeling this is similar to Ballyandy, who I've mentioned in the previous video. He just wants softer going. He doesn't have the speed to go on good ground over 2.5 mile. If you have a look through his form, as soon as he gets a bit soft, he seems to run a lot better. And hopefully, come Caspian Caviar Gold Cup day back at Cheltenham, they'll be soft in the going. And off our mark of 141, I think he is now very, very well handicapped. I'd love him to be 33 to 1 on soft ground, off 141 in the Caspian Caviar next month. That would be a strong selection in that race. They won't be running Protectorate next time because he's gone up in the weights, and they'll be aiming for bigger and better things with him. And I hope Spirit of the Games will be their number 1 in that race this time. The final horse I want to talk about from the Paddy Power Gold Cup was Simply the Bets. Finished 6th on his first run back since finishing 6th in that race the year before. And he actually travelled pretty well. You can see he traded at 73.33% shorter in the run. And he was given a good ride by Bryony Frost. And interestingly, 4 of them went to the front. The other 3 had all had a run this season. Midnight Shadow was up there. He'd obviously run in the Old Roan Chase. Cool Cody had a spin over hurdles when finishing 2nd to Guard Your Dreams, I think it was. And who was the other one that was up there? It placed. I can't think who it was. But the other horse had also had a run going into it. Simply the Bets had not. So you can forgive Simply the Bets for getting tired just at the finish, and he dropped back to 6th. The handicapper reacted by dropping him £1. He's down to 153, and similarly to Spirit the Games, I expect to see him back next month in the Caspian Caviar Gold Cup, where I think he'll be a single figure price at the off. I thought that was a more than satisfactory return, and with that fitness run now under his belt, probably going to get a bit softer going as well, which will suit him. I think he'll go off a single figure price and will have a really good chance. The final horse I want to talk about is another one that I highlighted. So one thing I do often do is you will see that I highlight a horse for a race, it doesn't win, and then I have a look and think, is there a reason why it didn't win? And I think Benson certainly had that. Look at the going. Heavy, soft. Yes, he'd won on good to firm, but he was 4 to 6 that day in a novice hurdle. The rest of the time, he wants soft or heavy going. He was going to run a really good race in the Tolworth back in 2020, when refusing at the second last, I think it was, on heavy going. He'd won on heavy going at Sandown. He was 4th in the handicap hurdle at Ascot on heavy going. He just wants softer conditions, and as soon as he gets that, I think he'll go really close. He dropped £1 to 135, and there's a race Obviously, he could go back to Sandown or he could go back to Ascot in December. But I just wonder whether he might turn up at Haydock. There's a 2 mile 2 handicap hurdle, 2 mile 3. It's 2 mile 2 and 190 yards, I believe. Handicap hurdle at Haydock that I think will suit him. And it's at Haydock and it's in a few weeks. Surely we're going to have some rain. And when it rains at Haydock, it's soft. It's soft, nearly heavy all the time at Haydock. So yeah, since he gets a bit more cut in the ground, and he's had that fitness run now, I expect him to go really well next time out. I think the fact that he went off 14-1, despite having essentially dropped in class and stepped up in trip, which it looked like he needed, I thought he travelled really well. He traded at 72.83% shorter in the run, but he went off 14-1. That just tells me he wasn't ready, but hopefully he will be next time. So there's 7 horses, is that? 7 horses I think is worth adding to your notes or your NAGMI if you use our NAGMI service with certain conditions that I'm looking for them. Thanks for listening.